The other thing that's interesting, we did shoot these videos 18 months ago too, so there's a lot of people who say they're going to get married and say they're going to retire and say they're going to have a baby. Well, those babies are here, those people are married, and some people have retired. And that brings us to the next award. The Chairs Award allows the opportunity to recognize an individual that is not an alumnus to the University of Houston, but has shown tremendous dedication, loyalty, and the utmost care for our university. This year, I am pleased to honor Dr. William Munson with the Chairs Award.
I'm a third-generation higher ed kid, earned a bachelor's degree in journalism from Iowa State. I went back to the counseling center at Iowa State, and they suggested that maybe I could consider working in higher education in student affairs. Eventually earned a master's degree in student personnel. Enrolled in the doctoral program at Nebraska-Lincoln and eventually got my doctorate. So I was destined to follow in my family's footsteps and find a job in higher education somewhere. The Director of Campus Activities position came open at Houston. Came to Houston thinking I would be at UH for 2 years and then I would have to move on to move up the chain of command. And then 3 years later, I was promoted to the Dean of Students. The University of Houston has turned out to be a perfect fit for me. 35 years later, now I'm still here. When I first came to UH was really undervalued by the community, and now it has an image. I think the University of Houston has always been a great academic program, a great institution, but I think we've even refined that. We're a very top institution at this point. I met my wife Wanda down here in Houston, who is a higher ed professional herself. Have a stepdaughter, Jennifer, her husband Jeffrey, and 3 grandchildren. So we have a very lively family life. Our family has developed in the higher ed environment, and Houston has been very supportive for us. I really connected with UH. UH became my home. UH students, faculty, staff, and alums became my family. I have a hard time separating myself from the University of Houston because this is where my identity is. When Mike Paday called me and told me that I had been selected to receive this award, I didn't know what to say. After learning that it's the highest award that a non-UH grad can receive, I just feel terribly honored. And so this really means a lot to me to be recognized by the former students. I've stayed so long because I felt like this was my place. I could never see myself not being present in the University of Houston community.
Presenting Dr. Munson with his medallion is UHAAF board member Michael Sachs. Ladies and gentlemen, the retired Dr. Willie Munson.
Good evening, all. As a former dean of students, it's imperative that I have everything down in writing because if I get off the script, I get into trouble all the time. So I'm going to stick really to the comments that I wrote down earlier. And first of all, I want to thank the University of Houston Alumni Association for selecting me as the recipient of the 2020 UHAA Chairs Award. This award is an honor and distinction that I will cherish for the rest of my life. This award is especially important to me because it recognizes the goals that I set forth in my professional life, which are 1, to assist UH students in their efforts to succeed academically and personally, and 2, to support the development of the University of Houston as it strives to be one of the best institutions of higher education in the United States. I've indeed been fortunate to serve the last 35 years of my career in higher education in an institutional environment which has been future-oriented, focused on excellence, and has encouraged its community members to participate in the implementation of positive change. For allowing me to be part of these efforts, I'd like to thank the following: One, Dr. Connie Wallace, the Dean of Students who hired me as the Director of Campus Activities in 1985. Dr. Roland Smith, former Vice President for Student Affairs, who promoted me to the Dean of Students position in 1988. Dr. Elwyn Lee, former Vice President for Student Affairs, who enlarged my professional portfolio and allowed me to work with a variety of programs and services which promoted student success and enhanced student life. Dr. Richard Walker, who is here this evening, Vice Chancellor, Vice President for Student Affairs and Enrollment Services, who has recently been appointed as interim president of UH Clear Lake and who has supported my work over the last 9 years. The many dedicated staff colleagues that I have had the pleasure of working with in departments across the university and units under my supervision, the students of the University of Houston who have always been active partners in the development of UH and who possess limitless potential for success and achievement. My wife, Dr. Wanda Munson, who is here this evening with me, who is a proud UH graduate, who has supported my involvement in countless UH programs and events which took place at night, on weekends, and on holidays. I also want to sincerely thank the UH alumni community over the last 35 years for accepting me to be part of your family. In closing, I would once again like to thank UHAA for selecting me for this prestigious honor. Thanks to you all. Please enjoy the rest of the evening.